You're firing Mr. Pitch. It's not the case I want to discuss.
You make people happy.
It reached 120 million people. Oh my God, I don't care about money. Money is inside your head. Take my money. Okay. Yeah, it's very easy. So you're trying to know how this all works. I don't know, kind of a first ever implemented AI image to image on the phone. My name is Alexey. I'm originally from Russia, and from, I would say, 2016, right? I was doing different kind of startups and different kind of companies. My first company was Prisma, pretty huge success, thrived a lot, and changed my life completely, more than 100 million users. So much things happened with me personally, because this was like really a life-changing experience. Mm-hmm. And after several years in this company, I decided, to step out as a CEO, found my own startup in Silicon Valley, and raised from like top T funds like General Catalyst, KPCB, etc. So it was like really like a lesson for me how to work with the top tier guys. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm doing my small business, I would say, but it's pretty much very successful. It's a gaming company. So basically what we are doing, we trying to sell in-game items. We are influencers. So mm-hmm. We invite influencers. They created their own web shop. And then we have the relationship with game publishers. They provide us like some sort of inventory, like in-game inventory. Right now it's like in-game currency, and they are influencers. They're trying to sell it to their fans. Yeah, that's it. So basically, mostly I'm like the guy, and I'm pretty much confident in two areas. This is AI and consumer social business. I know nothing about like B2B, enterprise, etc. So I'm good at these two things. That's it.
Okay, very well. Why are you doing something very related to game industry? First of all?
Yeah, good question. The answer is really simple. I've got more than 10,000 hours spent in World of Warcraft. So you know the thing that you need like more than 10,000 hours to be mastered.
To be an expert,
yeah. Master something. And so I'm the master of World of Warcraft for sure. So I've got like a pretty high rating, etc., etc. So I spent lots of time, especially in my high school and early years in university. So I've spent like lots of hours. I would say days.
How would you say, being an expert in gaming has shaped you in the entrepreneurial world?
Games, they make you like, to devote yourself in one area, like, being persistent, being confident, and, spend like lots of time. Mm-hmm. So this devotion, this level of your devotion, it's so high, and pretty much the same is happening when you're building your own company, right? Because you want to be completely, so the whole your time, the whole your life should be like devoted to building your company, and that's the same happening in gaming. So you are spending so much time, you're playing a lot, you're trying to figure out how the game works, what the best strategy, the same happening in startups. So it's pretty much like the aligned processes.
So you can train for the startup world in the World of Warcraft.
Yeah, say that. No, the World of Warcraft particularly, you can play like League of Legends, whatever you want. But the amount of efforts you put in gaming, I would say on the same level, especially when you're reaching like high level, nearly the esports level. Mm-hmm. It's the same amount you need to put when you're building your own company.
Are you playing in a team of people, or?
Yeah, when I say like playing online games, I mean like multiplayer online games. It's not like playing against the bots or against the computer, but it's playing in a team. Yeah, so basically you're playing in a team.
You're in a team.
Yeah.
So you have a World of Warcraft
team,
like
from 5 to 40 people. Depends from the content.
Same people for a long period of time?
You are trying to be in the same team for a long period of time, but it depends.
And the same team is in your startup, right?
Yeah, but in startup, you're actually trying, not to change the team quite often.
Have you hired anyone who you met whilst gaming?
Yes.
Into your team?
Yes.
Okay, so for the audience listening to this podcast, play games, so
Not really.
more people can hire you.
It's not a financial advice.
Yeah. And fundraising. How any parallels with gaming, with fundraising?
Not really. Probably in some cases, like you can imagine that fundraising process is a game, but to be honest, gaming is more like building something, relationship, like towards the goal, but it's not like the fundraising process. I would say pretty much different.
I want to go back to the beginning of Prisma AI, because the success it had, it's unheard of. 120 million downloads in the span of 6 months. It was so rapid. It's obviously changed your life forever. So could you just guide us through the first week? Because we were just from the.
But the first week was quiet. Nothing happened when we launched the app for the first week, actually.
Dead.
Yeah, not dead, but we'll say something like 100 daily active users, so maybe 200.
Were you disappointed?
No. So I was like really confident in that fact that it will be successful. Even like for like one region, especially like in CIS countries, for example, where we're based. So I was like, for sure. I really don't care what you guys think. I will launch it, and you will see it will be successful. So people will use it for sure. No matter what do you think. But for the first week, I saw like, oh, not that impressive. But when you see the second week, when you saw like this huge trend going like up,
Was that a spike?
it was like spike for like 3 weeks in a row. So every
Same rate of growth?
yes.
And what was that rate of growth, if you can remember?
So first day we've got around 10,000 users. It was a Thursday late evening. During the Friday we've got 25,000. During weekend we grow around like 70 to 80,000 users. So next week we did around 100, 150. Then next week we did like 500,000, and after like 2 weeks we did million.
Yeah, okay.
So it's something like
Pretty, yeah.
Psychologically wise, did something change, inside of you when, you wake up and you realize every day
No.
1 more million people are using
No.
something that I built?
It's not like this. So basically, you have no time to just to think about what was happening. You just live your life and do what you need, and you have no time just waking up and then what's happening with my life? No, nothing like this. So basically, just it's like a really fast-pacing environment. You have really no time to think, to talk, and whatever you do. You just need to ship the product and just put all your efforts into one process, then to another process, and then step by step. You will like make lots of mistakes. I've made so much mistakes because I was like inexperienced guy, right? What I knew about the startups before I made like my first successful product, nothing. Imagine that the whole your knowledge was really consumed from like TechCrunch articles, and TechCrunch articles is just like a pretty shitty, resource to learn something from. And
Why do you think so?
because like it's
TechCrunch is very popular for...
TechCrunch is just number of facts you can't really check. So, for example, there is like a heading with a 100 million deal. Someone bought someone. You go, oh my God, 100 million. But actually, the deal consists of several parts, like the cash out part, the earn out part. The earn out part can be like, spread like, or like by cliffs, like, and also distributed over the KPIs you should achieve, and so on. So basically, people can only have not that 100 million, but like 1 million or 2. You do not even know what's happened, and that's the key. And that's why the TechCrunch is like a number of facts, what's happening. Basically, you read in the headings and some sort of like, what do they think about the deal, but they do not know this.
So it doesn't paint the whole picture. It just
It's just like trying to decide what to do by watching the movie about something.
But you do trust the summary, though.
Somehow, yes.
Okay.
top 3 mistakes. Obviously, there are more, but perhaps the biggest lesson that you took from.
I would say the first is like bringing not the right people with you. So and this led to what I would say called misunderstandings during some processes. So I was really like unprepared and didn't understand the whole industry and how it really working, and that led to like really like not so good consequences.
You have
Bad, I would say.
You have a cat in the Wikipedia page
Yeah.
as your main. Oh, that cat?
No.
Okay.
It's just a random picture from the random user who
I
just
thought that
submitted
was-
it through the Wikipedia.
That might be some story about it.
No, not really.
Because
I don't know.
I found recently hiring a lot of developers, one of the best heuristics is if, apart from great skills, technical and soft, if he also has a cat or she, if the developer also has a cat,
Probably.
Yeah.
It's some kind of sign of empathy, but I would say I don't care.
do you have a cat?
No.
Okay. I'm not trying to hire.
No. I think it's unreal because I'm not the developer anymore. I used to just.
Do you consider yourself now a businessman
No.
or a scientist,
No.
an artist?
No. I'm some sort of a product manager.
Okay.
But I want to really make new products, build them, build the team, and build new products. That's it. That's some kind of mastery.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your end goal?
Just build something people will love and use every day.
Anything specific you are looking into?
Not really. I would say consumer, nothing more. So people, just real users.
So you're just in love with the idea of you building something for the consumers out there, and for them.
Yeah, not for businesses, not for enterprises, not for governments, etc. I can, but my own goal, personal goal is like trying to build something for people.
Is it for money?
Not. I don't care about money. Money is inside your head.
So if you're building something for people, what goal are you trying to achieve here?
I want to make their life happier, or like maybe give them new possibilities to do something, or give them more free time to devote it for their families, etc. Something like that. It sounds crazy. It sounds like this cliche, but it's real. It's for real.
Is it because of the karma?
No, I don't care about karma.
You don't believe in karma?
Karma is like one of the champions in League of Legends for me, mostly. Not that.
I was talking about them, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. My favorite one. So I'm playing the support role.
Oh, okay. That was the question.
Yeah.
Great. I, by the way, ate all the chips. Don't look
they
there.
they were wonderful. They were
I'm
incredible.
sorry. Coming back to Prisma, okay? Let's talk about the technology.
Yeah.
So, as far as I understand, the technology works the following way. The user uploads an image, right? Then he or she chooses the filters.
Right.
Then the image is somehow transferred to the style with some algorithms.
Yes.
Like CNNs,
Like, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
There was an age of convolutional neural nets. Yeah.
yes, convolutional neural networks. And then there's some form of style function that transfers the style learned from the database of different.
Yeah, learn from one image, basically.
Okay, so please, in your own words, can you tell and share the audience, maybe a little bit in detail, how it works?
I think there is nothing really you should know about this. It's pretty much now outdated technology.
Outdated, okay?
Yeah. You can do all the things basically with a stable diffusion, something like that, and more effective way, keeping more details.
But back to 2016, right?
Yeah, it was like quite new. So basically, we found like a paper on the internet with a guy with whom we were in like Moscow Physics Institute of Technology, and we just talked and just decided to start like to improve the algorithm and make it work a lot faster. So that was the idea. So this is like a really cool thing, but it takes time, like
So
around 30 minutes.
What took time? The rendering? From the image upload to the image transfer?
Yeah. So it was because there was like a back propagation step, and we deleted the back propagation step, and we only require your photo, and we predefine the style. So that's why we only like feed forward. That's why we've got all the things pretty fast. Then we actually implemented this stack right on the phone. We engineered like layers that were like processed via the neural engine and like on the iPhone and etc. etc. But I think there's nothing interesting here.
Nothing interesting.
Nothing interesting. It's
120 million.
Yeah, but it's not the result of the tech inside. It's the result that you really know what tech you should use and why. And then you just solving a particular
Problem that has been solved in the 90s.
Yeah.
But to me, what's fascinating is that Prisma got to 120 million people.
Yeah.
And the technology took only a couple seconds to get the image out there. So it reached 120 million people through organic growth.
Yeah.
You didn't
completely.
use any marketing. The
Yeah.
people became your ambassadors. They
some sort of
share the
Yeah. Right.
Can you tell how this process of a viral advertisement worked? Like, were there some channels where it got attention?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So, because there are lots of different ways you can build viral growth technique, I would say. So basically, for Prisma, you need to make the content first shareable.
Yeah.
So just it really looks great. And the second thing, right? You need to make people try again and again. Just imagine the user journey, something like that. You tried one filter with one photo, then what will be if I upload the whole my library, and so the whole picture. So how this picture will look like, how my cat will look like, and you are trying to find the best pictures to use for best filter, right? Best filter and picture. So trying upload the whole photo library. That's why there are so many people around. And then you found one, share it. That's it. Basically, it's very, very easy process.
And you had the watermark.
So the UX was, I would say, great.
Were you doing the architecture?
Architecture what?
User experience? Were you building the user experience?
Somehow, yes. But with my team, of course.
What was the team at the point where it actually exploded?
We were 5 or 6 people.
It's a
Originally, it was
small
4.
team. Yeah.
Then we offer like one more guy to help us with some sort of PR marketing communication.
Outsourcing?
Then not outsourcing, like inside the team.
Okay.
And then we hired like some sort of new developers for like Android version, like for DevOps, etc. So
Okay.
When you started hiring, obviously you still haven't fundraised. So did you?
we actually did.
Oh, so by the time that you hired, you already fundraised.
Yeah, not that much, but it was enough.
So surely you started getting calls from all the VCs, all the
Yeah.
angels.
From all the VCs you can actually imagine.
A16Z?
All guys. All.
Every single VC.
Every single VC you can just, I will found
So every
the email
single,
from them.
So they were just emailing you.
Yeah,
every single VC called you saying, "Take my money. I want to be part of Prisma AI."
yeah, some sort of, yes.
And how do you choose? When you have so much through the roof.
I'm really happy that you guys are really into it. So you're trying to know how this all work, and you're trying to consume new knowledge. You're trying to ask like really smart people. But I was like mostly like overconfident in myself, and I really didn't know lots of stuff. And I trusted people. That's what the thing.
And could you share more on the valuation? When how do you value a company when the growth is exponential?
Like this. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's about 20.
Oh, it's
20
about
billion.
it's about like 100. Okay, or about like 50. Okay, why? I don't know.
Fair enough.
So you can try, but the pace of what's happening is too much. So you do not have so much time to start the process. Like, oh, let's do some stuff like discontinue cash flow, whatever you want, and you do not have this time because like today you have 1 million users. Tomorrow you have 2, then 3, then 5.
Then 120.
Yeah. How you even like imagine in your head how I can like evaluate my company like that, bring the right number for the valuation? I don't know.
In real life, was valued 1 billion with 4 million users. So with 120 million users, that's a valuation of.
That's you can you can compare those cases. It's not like it's not right. I would say it's completely different things. So pretty much fundraising and what you've got on the product side, it's somehow connected, but not that much. Sometimes.
So you just wanted to. Obviously, you didn't have enough, much time to focus on all the details. So just take the money, and keep on building the product. Keep
Yeah,
on
that's your goal. You wanna bring the best partners to the table, then just continue building. If you know what to build, that's the thing. Nobody knew. Nobody.
So the value proposition of Prisma, was it happiness? Because I normally...
No. There's nothing like value proposition. You didn't even like to think about like, oh, value proposition, like big vision. Oh my God, no.
But now-
If someone
Yeah.
asked you, yeah, you got the answer. Like,
What was the answer?
I don't even remember what was the answer. Like,
So I think there are three. Either you save time, you make people happy,
yeah,
or it's money.
money is like the result of what you've done.
No, I mean not money for the founder, but money for, I don't know, whatever, your cost saving or...
Yeah, it can be so, but not so much different kind of products you can make in a consumer social, like in consumer space that make money
Okay, so I was
by itself.
In 2016, I was actually one of the first users of your app.
No, that's cool.
And I deleted it in maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I still... So back in 2016, okay,
Okay.
I was actually one of the first users of your app.
Congrats
probably.
congrats on that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And, I recall that moment when I downloaded the app, and then in 20 minutes, I actually deleted the app, And I still don't know why I downloaded the app initially. It was purely emotional. I just heard about like, oh, Van Gogh paintings, you know, you can turn everything into Van Gogh. And I'm a fan of art in some sense. So it was like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know? But then when I did it, I was like, okay, so what now? Do I hang it on my wall? Like, what is the point?
Not really.
You posted on Instagram and you continued to grow.
And because I didn't, you know, because I didn't do such things, like, you know, it wasn't probably for me, right? So can you please tell us about the target audience? Who are the people? Who are the 120 million people? Because for me, it's still, you know, I don't understand.
And it's okay, because like the target audience, like the people who are just exploring new filters and trying, you know, to find the best one for their pictures. That's it. So you probably was not that. You were the fan, and probably is the fan of the art, but you're not probably the fan of the filters and using the Instagram. No. That's it.
I guess especially back then, because now you have thousands of filters. In 2016, this was so new. You know, you can change the pictures in seconds.
You will always need a new filter. You will always need new filters, new, like, you know, lenses, new masks, whatever, like, you know, new effects, new, like, maybe different things you can accomplish with a tag, with your photos, with your videos, with your audios, whatever.
Did you use the product yourself?
Not really.
Okay. Anyone in the team?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Just the ones that were testing it?
No. I was using for testing a lot, but not for like actual, like, because I don't need even like filters at all. So imagine you can like subscribe my Instagram and they're like, you know, the whole type of content that I've got is just, you know, and then upload it. I just really don't care about
hashtag no filter.
Yeah, no. Even I do not even put any hashtags. I really don't care, because it's like just show my good friends what I'm doing. They don't need like this beauty, some sort of beautification of what is happening to me.
So what was the time needed to convert the image to the styled image?
We started with like 3 to 5 seconds, big queries, I mean, without like, high-loaded effects, when we had lots of users. When we actually grew for like 1 million users overall, and this is like more than like 200,000 daily active users, that we've got not so much GPUs active, and that's why that was like...
It dropped.
Yeah, it dropped and was around 1 minute.
Wow.
In a peak, but not that really.
No?
No, because like people, they continued to use the app. They really didn't care about the loading time.
No?
Yeah, because like you really want to try this out.
But if it loads every time for 1 minute?
Yeah, it was.
People are still excited.
Yeah.
They're on emotions.
Yeah.
They've seen
It was like the real hype. And that's why we actually didn't notice something, you know, extraordinary.
to copy that virality algorithm right now, you know, to...
There is nothing like virality algorithm. This is like the time, the momentum, and then the product and the users. And you've got the chance to build the viral product every month. Probably you've heard about the labs, about the, what was that, Gas, TBH, like all these apps around right now, Wrap for Instagram that was banned, and et cetera, so much apps like Be Real. They all have, they all have different sort of virality things implemented inside the app, and actually, maybe I will do some sort of lectures about it, because I'm really keen on studying what's happening around this, and I really trying to completely understand what happened, why those apps are so viral, understand the tools they use, understand the steps they've built, and this compound effect they've got. So always you can. There is always the chance to be in some sort of viral things. People always need new entertainment, always need new things. That's why, for sure. But you can't copy. because like there is like a hard dependency with the momentum. Prisma was like the product of its time. That's it.
The most downloaded app in 2016.
Probably in several next years also.
So the most downloaded app in 2016, 17. And
Yeah, and maybe
How do you
18.
solve the GPU's problem?
We called Jason Huang,
Who is Jason Huang?
the NVIDIA founder.
Oh, the NVIDIA founder. Okay.
good solution.
What did he say?
He said, I have no GPUs available.
Oh, so not a solution to the problem.
But it was.
It's a good call to make, though.
Yeah, it was a good try. Actually, we solved this by buying more GPUs. We found one, and also, but
In China?
I don't remember where. And also, what we decided to do is to implement the whole stuff on the phone locally. And that was the solution. And we actually did it. I think we were some kind of a first ever implemented AI, image-to-image neural network implemented locally on the phone.
Can you kind of give an idea for the audience how much the GPUs would cost for such?
Not that much how you see right now what is happening, like this Series A for 100 million, but some kind of millions, not dozens of millions, but millions.
So the round that you raised initially, was it mostly for GPUs?
No. The GPUs was part of a deal somehow with one of our investors.
Oh, nice. Why Chinese VCs?
If all the VCs came to you, why did you choose Chinese ones?
Is it related to the Mahjong game?
Not really. It mostly related that they offered more money with a big valuation, I would say. But right now, I think I should did it like in another way. But whatever.
Would you be able to touch on the numbers or?
Not
private?
really.
No.
Yeah.
Did you go to China?
Yeah. I was in China, in Beijing, in Shenzhen, in Shanghai, many more, like for 1 week or 8 days.
So how difficult was it to work with Chinese investors?
When you are really hyping around the world, they eager to join you. They want to be the part of the hype too. That's it. Basically, it was true for all of the parties, like inside the Silicon Valley.
But any value that they provided?
You don't really need like so much value, because for let's say you need value, but you need value if you really know what to do with your app. Value? No. Money? Yes.
Very good. Very good. Okay, I see. So let's go to the exit.
So it was like personal exit. So I sold my shares and just was like, a little bit tired of making some sort of like photo editing software. It was my personal decision. And I sold my shares to current shareholders. It was good exit. I'm pretty happy. Nothing to say.
Did the company like your decision?
Not really, but it's okay.
Was it some sort of conflict between you investors and the board, or was it?
It was tough, but I really made it, and that's it.
But was it perhaps pressure from investors to monetize Prisma AI to include subscriptions?
No. We already did the subscriptions, and we were like one of the first apps to did like the subscriptions, because like in 2016 you actually hadn't subscription stuff. There was no subscriptions.
Yeah.
And the in-app purchases were like a pretty tricky thing to implement for monetization, for money generating. So it was mostly like subscription. Oh my God, let's try. You probably know that right now everyone is doing subscriptions. I mean, especially in photo editing, landscape, but whatever. We were one of the first. in that space. Yeah.
Is it hard to like you sell out your baby? You build this.
Yeah, it's
Prisma.
hard. Yeah, heartbreaking. Oh my God, I was crying. No. Yeah, it was tough, but not that much. So it's not about like you're crying and something like that. It was tough in terms of like negotiations and building the right agreements with your future investors and with your previous investors, etc. So, but this is a really long story.
We have time.
Oh, not that much.
And so, but perhaps briefly, any regrets? Something you would have done differently? The exit?
Yeah, for sure. I would done lots of things in a different way, because like I was really young and I had not really another experience building another company. But after I've built that, I've got lots of things in my head, lying, one line aligned, and with my view of the world, the view of the industry, and so I'm really grateful and thankful to my team and to my investors that they taught me a lot of new things, because it was like I really like love this experience. It's really life-changing.
Yeah, indeed. Coming back to the exit,
Okay.
you sold your stake
Yeah.
to the investors, right?
Right.
To your investors.
Yeah.
And they bought it at a discount, or was it a favorable?
It's not the case I want to discuss. That they just bought it. That's the case. That's the fact.
Okay.
To discuss like the particular terms, and I would say that that's not what I wanted to share.
Sure, absolutely, no problem.
Could you share on because you've had a lot of experience in giving out equity in perhaps not in valuation, but in giving out equity to your team members, into
Like advisors or like your team members.
Yeah, advisors, team. So could you just
Yeah.
The equity split.
Yeah. The one advice you should know: do not just to try discover new or implement new things. Just use old ones.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Reinvent. Do not. Yeah, you're right. Just go to Y Combinator site website.
Safe downloads.
Save, download, see the best practices. That's it.
1% from 0.5
From
for the
yeah,
advisors.
for the advisors, for the team from 1% to 10%, and for founders like 30 plus.
Yeah.
That's it.
And did you have any conflicts with team members, who disagreed perhaps on your decision and wanted to?
Just you should put all these terms right from the start. Then it's
Two founders,
Okay.
50-50. What's a good conflict resolution? Because sometimes you.
depends from people, from personalities, from the mood of like when you just woke up and just, oh my God, I'm bad today. Just it's a bad day to discuss and negotiate. Sometimes it's a good day, sunny day, and so lots of different things you can take into the account to try to decide what to do next and how and so on. So there's no like a silver bullet.
Do you like FaceApp?
Yeah, they made it like lots of money, and they made a good product. Like
Because they're not very far from Prisma in terms of the technology that.
they're like in a different space. They were in a different space. It was not like
In the space of filters, though.
in the space of like not the neural nets and the AI, mostly in different stuff like decision trees, etc. So the first technology that made viable this stuff like lenses, etc.
Yes.
It was not the machine learning. It was like
But in terms of consumer, it's the same kind of sector, right?
okay, yeah, for sure. They made it really well. I'm really like respect them for what they've done and how. So they really earn lots of money, and they actually earning right now,
Yes, they still are.
generating revenue. Yeah.
I want to touch on the aspect of relationships. Did your success change perhaps the way your friends treated you, the way because you built a very solid reputation
Yeah.
for yourself. You were a star, and you are a star.
Probably.
So, did Did that impact any friendships? Any?
Not really. I would say it impacted my view of the world and view of the like how I want to build, what I want to build, and basically it makes me feel that I'm right and I was right in decision what I will do during my like professional career and professional like way and during my next like 20 to 30 years, right? Because you want to be sure that you are doing the right thing. That's it. So when I was like at Prisma, I was like, okay, I'm right. I'm right. I'm confident that I've chosen the right thing, the right path. That's it.
So, the monetization at Prisma. Tell us more about it.
It just I was only in the first period of time, so we just experimented and we implemented some sort of subscriptions, and that's it. You don't need just nothing more. Afterwards, when I stepped out and sold my shares, they implemented like their own platform, probably some. They've made lots of different things to make it this monetization, like subscription, to work really well.
Ever profitable?
I don't know. I'm honest with you. I don't know. Maybe yes. I would say probably yes. More chances that yes than no. Especially taking into account this launch of like Lensa and the Magic Avatars. Probably they generated lots of money. And if you sum up the whole money they've generated during these 6 years, probably yes.
So you started to play World of Warcraft more after you left?
No.
I want to touch on a funny story. Alexey, you created an app used by 120 million people.
Okay.
Huge success story.
Okay.
Just for the fun of it, you applied to Google, and they didn't even call you back.
Yeah.
What do you think about
That was like some kind of a joke. Of course, they will not call me back because, like, you can't apply to Google when you were the CEO because it was some sort of like
Joke.
yeah, and maybe not a joke. They just really do not need this kind of personality to be like a product manager in a team of 5 people, and that's okay. So it was like, it was the fun experience, and I just posted it on Twitter, and that's it.
And in terms of the bureaucracies of big companies and in general just large corporations, they're obviously different to startups, but large VCs in particular. What's your experience with their due diligence? With how they evaluate startups at an early stage and.
Yeah. So basically, when you are before 100 million ticket, as you probably know when you're behind this price, they they value team that team could accomplish something. That probably your results and the people. That's it. When you're above this 100 million ticket, that you will be priced not only by the team and their result, but what are you gonna do next and how much money you can make. Not that it's not obligatory to make it right now, but you can make it in the future. But they really value the product and the results you've got more than the people. Below the 100 million, they value more like the people you've got, the vision, that what you can do in a short period of time, whatever. And I don't know, I think more than you about 1 billion ticket. Probably 1 billion ticket is for the companies that can be like a market-making company.
Alexey, as you are very good in pitching,
Probably.
let's hear some of your pitch. I won't say elevator pitch, just,
So I will tell you not the pitch itself, but I will tell you the structure. I'm always
Okay. Yes.
using or trying to use. I'm just like a big fan of this structure. So probably we are talking about the pitch for like seed, pre-seed, like the initial stage of a startup, right? Because I'm not the experienced guy raising Series B or Series C or like this kind of stuff. So when you're pitching, like your initial idea, or you've got like the first steps accomplished, or like first results, like first numbers, first revenue. Basically, people are seeking another people. So they want to be you. You should be bold, confident. You should really believe in what you're doing. You should like really love what you're doing. And people, especially like top tier guys, they really read your mind. They really understand whether you like love your idea or you're just trying to pitch me. That's the big difference, right? Because when you're trying to pitch like, oh, I want to do some money stuff like, photo editing software, whatever. Or you just pitch some crazy idea, but you really believe in it. You're really trying to accomplish it. You're really trying to understand the structure and understand from what parts it consists and so on. That really matters. So that's the first thing. The second thing, you really should be into the landscape. You really should understand the products, the incumbents, the other companies, the other startups. You should really know. You can't be in a situation where like your guy from another part of the table asks you, like investor asks you, do you know these guys in the same space? And you said no.
So you need to be a professional. You need to have expertise.
Yeah.
Do you think that now in general, on average, they're less professionals? I hear this all the time. People just saying, "Oh, it's an era of unprofessionalism." Now there's so many people who are just dilettantes.
No. I think not the era of dilettantes, but the market became mature. So it's really time to make something really complicated. And that's why you must know lots of stuff to do something, to build something, to ship something. And that's the key.
Mr. Chips, we really worked on the crust this time.
And on the sauce. Just want to show everyone. It's fantastic.
I don't think there are any competitors in the market.
Not for this, zero. We could raise millions. You touched on a very interesting subject. Now it's a very complicated market. Now there's an influx of information. 90% of all the data has been produced last year.
Probably by large language models.
Yeah. So do you think that the next trend, the next biggest thing is search engine optimization? This LLM models, there's ways to save people time and trying to adapt to the influx of information coming to you.
So imagine that large language models are basically a conversation interface for your database or for your data or like for any data in the world. That's it. So probably you need some kind of like a layer about this to make sure you can deal with all this stuff. So if you're like a regular user, probably you don't know which LLM is better, which data set is you need to be sure you can build a dialogue with it, right? Because it's like the conversation is like to build the dialogue, right? And that's the key.
Mm-hmm. Do you use ChatGPT?
Not so often.
No?
No, I'm not like a very power user. I've got several use cases. The first is to build a summary of any document or any video on YouTube. And some sort of like market research.
Yeah?
Just, give me the numbers about and then something.
Any plugins?
No, I don't need plugins. I don't know the use case. Maybe you know. Maybe you can advise me on that.
PDF, PowerPoints.
My typical template for any kind of presentation, like any kind of deck, is like
Notion?
No. Notion is bad.
No?
Just it's kind of like when you want to throw all your thoughts into some kind of like a trash can, and then trying to find something in this unstructured space with lots of buttons, lots of pluses, lines. I don't know.
To Ivan Zhao.
Yeah.
So I'm getting you're not a fan of Notion.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Notion, but it's okay that Notion has like really good product market fit. It's okay. It's really good.
Talking about product space, Prisma app, for example, is quite a vertical product.
Yeah, right.
And generally, would you say you're kind of more into building vertically space products or horizontally? Because with Notion, is a very, very horizontal app.
It's horizontal in one vertical, right?
Yes, it targets so many different target segments.
But basically, you always start with as narrow audience as possible. That's the key. Remember what Paul Graham said? That do things that do not scale. Yeah, and that's about that, like your choice of users, of the segment of users. You want to be really narrow as much as possible because it will help you to navigate, right? Like where your users are sitting, what they're actually doing, and that's it. And you can reach them easily.
And what was your narrow audience segment with Prisma AI when you started?
It was like, people who want to make their photos looks beautiful. There are not so much people actually that want to make their photos so beautiful.
Just 120 million.
No, maybe 1 billion. But you can narrow it by your country, by the age. You don't want to target people who like after your 30 years.
Speaking of countries, how would you compare living and working on a project in Silicon Valley compared to London?
Silicon Valley is a dream world, and Silicon Valley is a way better. So if you want to make something really significant, you want to move there, for sure. I just don't want to explain this. That's just trust me.
Okay, let's move on. Capture.
Yeah, it was mostly like a lesson for me. I just wanted to work with the people from Silicon Valley, learn from them.
Well, you raised money, right?
Yeah, I raised from like top tier VCs.
Experiment cost
Like millions.
Yeah,
And
tell
that's
us more about it.
So the idea was really simple. So I want to use like a context around you to connect you with the right people that are in a same situation, I would say, the same context. So if we are watching the football today, so I want to discuss this football with the guys who are also watching, right? And
Social network.
yeah, some kind of. But basically there was no idea about the distribution, and that was the failure.
You didn't find the product market fit for it.
I didn't find how to distribute it. Yeah. So you always need to think how to connect your product idea with the distribution.
But it was one of the first AI VR.
Yeah, one of the first AI VR experience, and something you saw on a presentation of Oculus, a recent Oculus presentation, where Mark Zuckerberg said about that you can put the helmet, I call it helmet, on your head, and then there will be like AI assistant, AI bot, right, that can discuss with you what's happening around. That's basically the same idea.
Did he give credits to you for building this technology?
No.
Shame. Just a shout out from Mark.
Talking about your experiment and problems with distribution.
Right.
Explain more. What were the obstacles? Like, what do you mean you haven't found the distribution? Was it
We
like,
just have no idea how to attract users.
and
That's it.
So for what period of time were you like thinking like
For 1 year, we had no ideas.
So you built the product? You built the product, and in a year you tried to...
Yeah, we tried to just put it into the market.
how many hypotheses have you tested in a year?
One to a month.
1 to a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
We found some really cool stuff, but that was not enough.
And the exit from that, how did that work?
I just closed the company, that's it.
Yeah.
Wrote the post-mortem email, and then thank you guys, bye-bye.
It's been a hell of a ride.
But for entrepreneurs that might be thinking, some people don't even start the venture because they are probably scared of this moment. What happens?
Nothing. You just cry a bit, sleep a lot.
Investors?
They were like one of the smartest guys in the valley, so they just, say, you're a good guy, you are the warrior, you are great, keep going. That's it. Probably you will not raise from them afterwards in the recent years, because you didn't return the money, but that's okay. They are not like, oh, you're a bad guy, You will be punished
They understand
by
that it's
our.
just the startup world and the.
They really understand this, and I've got I think one of the greatest experience working with guys from General Catalyst and etc.
Okay, so Y Combinator, they have
Yeah.
this question in the application form. You probably heard of it. It's a very
Probably.
famous one where they ask you, what non-computer system have you hacked? Tell us about the time when you hacked a
Non-computer system?
non-computer system.
Okay, I played football professionally. I mean soccer. I would say I hacked the pass, how I can pass for 70 meters. That's it.
Rejected from YC.
It's okay. I don't need the YC anymore.
What about not like talking about sports, still talking about business,
Okay.
but not non-computer system that you hacked?
So just an interesting and innovative way around something.
In a business,
Yeah.
but I didn't do any kind of offline business ever.
Online?
Only online. So
So it would be related to a computer system.
sorry, Y Combinator. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Y Combinator. Sorry, Paul. It was a good question, but sorry. I just started to
I tried
do
my
any
best.
any kind of things I've done was related in terms of business and money. All was like related to computer systems.
And for you personally, why do you choose working in startups and being the founder rather than being in a more stable environment? Being a product manager, product owner
Yeah.
in a large corporation. So what's your reasoning behind choosing this stressful,
yeah.
high-paced environment?
First, I didn't even know it should be stressful. But the second thing is that I want to keep the risk and I want to keep the responsibility for what I'm doing and what my company is doing. And that's the thing. When you're working in a big company, you actually have no real risk except some sort of economical losses, like future economical losses, right? Because it's not like right now. It's like in the future you can damage that, like the EBITDA or something like that. But actually, startups is just trying to find and to build yourself. So you're a builder, and this nature really dominate you, and that's some kind of what you want to do. And this is really different from what you're actually doing in a big company, because big company is always like a safe environment, especially for you and for your family.
Coming back to hiring, when we hire, sometimes and most of the time now we work online, right?
Yeah.
With people and they don't actually come to the office.
Yeah, I really don't love working with remote teams. Oh my God, this is...
Tell us about the experience of working with remote teams. What are the life hacks that you can share? Because a lot of startups now are created in Zoom, literally, where
Yeah,
you've
fire
never seen-
faster, fire faster. If you're not like confident in a guy, just fire faster. Not just not to be so have so much empathy for the people, for their lives, for whatever
So
they've got.
fire, hire, fire.
Yeah,
Experiment.
yeah. The goal of startup is to move as quickly as possible. If you're moving slowly, you're dying.
But
Literally.
But then, okay, I hire,
Okay.
then I fire.
Yeah.
I have a code left, right?
Yeah.
Behind the
It's
gun.
your problem, not mine.
course.
Not mine.
And then we do
It's
this
yours.
again and again.
Yeah, it's all about you. Deal with it.
Imagine you're firing Mr. Pitch. How would you do it? Would you say you're fired? Sorry, it's not working.
Depends from the role he has. Right?
Please don't fire me.
Yeah, depends from the role, depends from the level of responsibility, the team structure, right? You can be a manager, you can be like a developer, you can be like a hiring manager, like a C-level manager. That depends. But basically, it's very easy. It's something you said like, we are not like in line anymore, and you explain why. With some sort of operational guys, you said basically what you don't like and why. And that's it.
Okay.
And any parallels between football and startups?
I would say only with coaching, but not that much with the football itself. I was the player, and there is nothing, I would say. Only like being persistent, being devoted to one skill should help mostly in like learning something.
It's teamwork. I was a goalkeeper, so you have to like also shift the team. You have to lead them,
Yeah,
you
there
have to
are a
shout,
lot of
communicate.
teamwork, but it's another kind of teamwork. Not so much intellectual. It's mostly about the feelings, about the be aligned on an emotional level.
Okay, equity compensation for the employees.
Yeah.
On seed or pre-seed, whatever, do you think it's a good idea to actually give a stock option to...
Yes,
Yeah.
you want to be sure that people will stay with you for a long period of time and they know why. So the only reason you're working at a startup is to get some experience. After you can get it and like find the product market fit or help to build it, you will probably get your reward, and the reward is like stock option.
And they use a standard 4-year, 1-year cliff plan, vesting plan, or
Basically, it's up to you. You've got 4 years vesting period, 1 year cliff, then month by month or quarter by quarter. You are trying to distribute not more than 15% at the start for your employees.
So employee equity pool no more than 15%.
I would say yes.
And it's you need to do it after the round, obviously, right? Because you need the 403A, the...
And you don't need it. You don't. You can do it whenever you want. It's just an option plan.
Right, okay.
and now LFG.
Okay.
You built a big gaming community
Yeah.
around, just like this, with a vision of sort of building like this marketplace for the gaming industry where you have events, where you...
Yeah, we started actually with a Discord board that was really popular, and for looking for group, so looking for teammates and friends to play with. Discord board was really popular, and right now it's also popular in some kind of use cases in Discord. But we couldn't transform it to the separate product outside of the Discord ecosystem. That's why we started to look to different ideas, and we started to work closely with influencers. And then we found that they're really keen, making events, making some sort of engagement stuff, and so on and so on. And we started looking into how we can help them to earn money, and that's how we came up with the idea to build some sort of a marketplace. Basically, it's mostly like a shop, like a Shopify solution. So you can just, enter the agreement with us. We can give you what you wanted to sell. So you don't need upfront money, any kind of your own cash to start selling. So we just do a revenue share, and this is a win-win basically for us and for a game developer, because we actually give them a chance to avoid this Play Store, App Store, Google Play commissions, right?
Yeah.
Because they take 30%, and we take 15.
Okay. So you compete in terms of pricing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you're undercutting the big players and
Not
building a community
undercutting.
around
We
it.
we have the influences, we have the community, right? We have the traffic, right? So they just come to us, sell. It's very easy.
And any life hacks in building a community?
Oh, that's a very, very complicated topic to discuss, because it really depends from what sort of community, what the goal of community. But basically, your idea is to make like a place where people can be supported in a particular area. So the community members will approve what are you doing. They will support you, really praise you sometime.
How do you support your community inside?
You could just really help, acquire some item, or discuss their boss strategy, or whatever you want. If you're doing a really cool tool for the community, because they need some sort of notification about what's happening in the game, so really ask the people what do they need, in what form. You're really trying to answer 24 hours, 7 days a week, and that's how you build the trust. Because to build a really good community, you need to build the trust. You need to build the trust with people, So they will trust you, they will trust your advice, they will trust your product, they will trust your members,
Yeah.
your team members. That's the key. And the trust is building upon your knowledge of a particular landscape. For example, gaming or like a particular game, like, like a PUBG or World of Warcraft.
Right. What is the biggest lie you have ever confronted in the startup space?
I don't know the answer. I would say from time to time it's like different things because you're really grown up and then, trying to reevaluate what you think were true and right now it's not. And also you need to take into account that fact that for 5-10 years everything is changing. What was like good in 2016 right now maybe not so relevant.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself 2028
2028?
in 5 years?
I hope I will have some sort of a product that will be used by millions of people daily.
That happened some time ago, so.
Yeah. Right now, I have more not used by millions, but used by thousands of influencers, and that's also good. Probably I want to be closer to like the consumer social side. We'll see.
In football, a lot of the big players, after they retire, they really miss this adrenaline, the adrenaline of a football game, the adrenaline of
the
being
energy,
surrounded
the
by
energy,
80,000 fans.
Yeah.
And then when they retire, they can't find that. So do you miss, this rapid, massive expansion of like 2 new million users a day?
Sometimes that's not the thing right now.
What do you think about London as a startup space currently?
Nothing special. It's good, but nothing special. The only one special place on the earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
And
can't pronounce the name.
yeah, and probably the others, like places, will be probably nearly the same level. Depends from your knowledge of market, of like your cultural preferences, etc. So you can decide on yourself. Every country can be a home for your company. That's like your choice.
When do you know that you kind of can rent the office and move from the remote work to the offline?
I want to move to offline like from the start, if I can. Remote teams are like just like a disease of your startup. It's just an injury in your process. It's just bad as hell. Because on a long distance, it just doesn't work. It just really hurt your processes, like the product development cycle, whatever you need. Maybe there are some sort of like product that can be built by remote teams, but I believe that you have more chances to build like sustainable, good product release cycle by offline teams.
Why?
Because like when you need to ask someone about something during your workday, you need to schedule a call. And that's insanely hard to do sometimes, especially when you need like more than one man, like you need 3 people in a different time zones.
But then you just come to the guy in the office and you're
Yeah,
like,
and then in the office you just, guys, what do you think? That's it. 30 seconds.
spend less time.
Yeah.
And there's a human connection,
Human
more
connection,
trust,
like
more...
verbal and verbal, like all this stuff, that matters a lot. That build trust. Like I mentioned before, like you want to build like some sort of like an environment where your team is really like, they trust you, they trust each other. And that's the key for a fast-paced environment you want to build.
Top 1 country for your hires?
Of course, I'm the native Russian speaker, so I prefer like Russian-speaking guys when I hire like for first hires. Then I don't care. Like it depends from the role.
Do you reallocate people? So how does that work?
From time to time, depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I hire all the guys. They're Russian-speaking, but they're here. And
Okay.
yeah.
Last question for me. Do you have any interview, perhaps any spicy questions which you use in an interview to understand if a person, is perhaps a problem solver? Or...
Not. I think this kind of a question, it will be always different from time to time. So like 5 years ago, it will be one question. Right now, I'm using mostly like I'm trying to understand, do the person to this project or to this product or to these people. So I want to know what will be the first priority, like product, process, people, or profit.
The shittiest product you've ever used?
I've got several.
Please share them all.
Zoom, first place.
Non-trivial.
Yeah, the second place will be. Let me look at my phone, because like it depends on the usage pattern,
I
right?
have a list, I have a list of great products.
Yeah.
Next
So
episode, shitty products.
let's see what I've got here. Zoom for sure. Like,
Blacklisted.
Not blacklisted, but I even prefer like Google Meet.
Google Meet is my
Yeah, but Zoom is like
you're
the
a product
the
builder.
UX, the whole UX is just
Find the
so
copy
messy.
link button, right?
Yeah, find the settings.
It's hidden. It's a game.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So basically, what else?
Zoom wants to keep them in the coal.
Notion for sure. Second place. It's bad as hell. It's just a trash bin for your thoughts.
Where do you keep your thoughts?
In my head mostly. Yeah.
But really, it's good to write them down because
Sometimes I write down two different formats, or like maybe like
TXT?
no. I use like Apple Notes.
I use that every
Yeah, and also I use like if I want to do something in a structured way, or like when I like
JSON.
JSON transcripts.
yeah, I'm actually like writing some code in Rust. But so
Rust.
Rust.
Yeah. So I'm more like fan of like hardcore programming, and and the second thing I use is the keynote.
Keynote.
Just making decks, making presentation.
Top 3 greatest apps?
Greatest apps?
Greatest apps, yeah.
I love the messenger space, like WhatsApp. It's probably for me, it's nearly the same. I love YouTube. YouTube is great.
Another question. Top 3 YouTube channels.
Let me see. I'm not watching like in a particular way, like
Mr. Beast.
No. No.
Never.
Not never, but just for general knowledge what is happening inside the space. So I'm watching mostly like football related, sport related bloggers, Russian speaking sometimes. Also I'm watching some gaming content, some music like Circle.
Circle.
Yeah.
Spotify or Apple Music?
When I moved to London, Spotify. In California, I used mostly Apple Music for sharing purposes only.
Oh, okay.
Because here, most of the users and most of the people.
They have
in
Spotify, so
yeah,
you share Spotify.
yeah.
Do you invest in startups?
Sometimes,
How many deals so far?
several.
Friends mostly, or?
Friends mostly. I prefer to decide based on people, on the team, not the product.
And have any exits or are it just recent investments?
I would say one of the investment made me stock 100x.
100x.
Yeah.
Very good.
I do not make an exit right now,
Yeah?
but I didn't make it, but I would probably.
Uh-huh.
Is it a London-based startup or
A remote?
Zoom?
Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
Okay.
Anything you want to share to the audience for the future generation of startup founders?
Yeah, just do what you love.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the chips.
Perfect.
We
Perfect. Just